What's up, co-counsels? I had to push the live back, okay? I had to push the live back because I worked longer than I had planned. Now I'm getting distracted. A lot has been going on. Listen, I want to talk about Eric Adams, but we're not even gonna do that right now. We're not gonna do that right now. Let's get into this jury questionnaire. I have I have about an hour and then I need to call it a night. But I really need to iron out other stuff to do. But let's get into the jury questionnaire because we did not get a chance to get into it last night. And Karen Reed, they're moving pretty quickly. Okay, they're moving pretty quickly. They have seven jurors seated so far. This is rapid pace, and rapid pace, this is just telling me that we're getting folks that already know about this case. All right, that's my sense. I have the numbers for you. What's up, Brooklyn? I have the numbers for you. Let me get I have too many open tabs. Okay. Yeah, I have too many open tabs. Now I can no longer find it. But the numbers from today, I believe today's numbers were much higher with folks that have actually heard about the Karen Reed trial. I don't exactly believe the numbers because this time around again, apparently only 16 people said they had formed an opinion. I find that hard to believe, especially if over 80 folks have heard about the case. I cannot. Hold on. Let's just move on to the questionnaire because I just cannot find this. I cannot find the what is it called? The tab, but I have too many tabs open. Okay, so let's go over here. I'm just gonna have to increase this a little bit because I cannot. Is that that's the most I can? That's the most I can zoom in. I cannot see. I really cannot see. But let's get into it though. All right, so this is the jury questionnaire. All right. I today's proceedings I listened a little bit, not too much. I have things that I have to finalize. But let's get into it. So number one, it is alleged that on January 29, 2022, while intoxicated and operating her motor vehicle in Canton, Massachusetts, the defendant Karen Reed killed her boyfriend, John O'Keefe, an off-duty Boston police officer. Is there anything about the description of the case, the charges, or the victim, um, or that the victim was an off duty police officer that causes you to believe that you cannot be fair and impartial? In this case, I guess most people are probably going to say no. And then, have you already started to make up your mind about this case? Again, for me, it's hard to believe that out of the just from today's proceedings, out of the 89 individuals or whatever number of folks that have heard about this case before, it is hard for me to believe that it's only 16 individuals that have formed an opinion or are biased for or against Karen Reed. That number has to be higher. Uh, According to me, I just think that folks are probably not comfortable disclosing that information because we all like to believe that we're impartial. But yeah, what's up, Cali girl? I don't believe that. Yeah, Brooklyn, seven jurors. I believe two were from yesterday, and then five from today. Okay, so let's see. Okay, number three, do you have opinions regarding previous experiences as a juror, the fairness of the judicial system or criminal justice system in our country that would impair your ability to be fair and impartial to both the Commonwealth and to the defendant? I suppose most people are probably going to say no. Do you have any religious or philosophical beliefs that make it difficult for you to follow the law and come to a verdict? I would say yes here if this was like a death penalty case and for some odd reason somebody decided to have me out there. Or, I'd go with yes just because I've said it over and over again. I'm opposed to it. Okay, so this case is expected to garner a significant amount of media attention. Is there anything about the high profile nature of this case that will prevent you from serving as a fair and impartial juror? I suppose that is fair. That is fair in the sense that, here's the thing. This is my sense of this case. Okay, I am of the opinion that if we do have an acquittal or maybe another hung jury, then folks are definitely going to come out and they're going to want to be interviewed. Okay, that's my sense. Whereas if there was a conviction, I highly doubt there's going to be a conviction in this case. And the reason I doubt that is it's more so on how fast the jurors are getting seated, because I find it really hard to believe that the folks, not to say everybody, but for, again, to me, it doesn't make sense. A case that has garnered a lot of attention and for people that have heard about this trial, and apparently, what, 16 people out of, I guess if you add it together, then it's more than that. But 16 from yesterday and 16 from today, only those individuals are comfortable enough to disclose that they have, formed a bias against or for Karen Reed. What are you asking, Brooklyn? What are you asking when you say you doubt? What are you asking? All right, so let's see. Do you, any family members or close friends reside or conduct regular business in Canton? That's actually going to be interesting, because that would, I guess this was really the talk of the town, right? Okay, if the testimony were in conflict, would you tend to believe the testimony of a police officer more than any other witness, simply because the witness is a police officer? This is a pretty this is a common, it's almost a standard question in a criminal case, because there is this belief that what is this? Ordinary citizens are more inclined to take the word of a law enforcement officer as opposed to another lay individual. Conversely, would you tend to disbelieve a police officer simply because the witness is a police officer? So this is a defense question. This is a Commonwealth question. And then, do you believe law enforcement officers are generally fair and accurate in their investigations? I guess both sides would really want to know that. Do you have any strong personal beliefs, or have you been exposed to any strong personal beliefs from friends and relatives about law enforcement officers, prosecutors, or the government? Random, but Brooklyn, did you watch Judge McBurney yesterday? They had a sovereign citizen. They had a sovereign citizen. They had a sovereign citizen in court yesterday. Okay, and he was a lot. He was a lot. I did not have time to look him up today, but I believe his name was Pierce. I never got the first name, but I'm going to be tracking his case from here on out. Yeah, I doubt. I mean, we did not get into the substance of the case yet. Maybe Hank Brennan. What is this? Maybe Hank Brennan has a different theory, but I doubt they get a conviction, regardless of how well he puts on a case. I just, at this juncture, I don't see it. And the reason I don't see it is because of the pretrial publicity in this case, and the realization of just how many people have, have had some contacts with this case. I don't know that they can get an impartial jury. That's what I'm saying. So Brooklyn said, I told you about it a few weeks ago. This was his second appearance. Yeah, but when you told me about it, I had not seen him. I had not seen him in action. So now I have to go track him down and actually find, unless you can tell me the live. Now I have to go read the comments. I'm going to go back to the live and read the comments, because I remember you saying something about him. And when he popped up, I was like, this is probably who Brooklyn was talking about. Yeah, Mr. Pierce. I took some notes because I was gonna make a little video. Let's see. Hold on. I was gonna comment on the video, But he kept asking Judge McBurney, is this a criminal case or is it a civil case? Is it a criminal case or is it a civil case? And he I don't want to say that he was upset, but maybe he was disappointed because Judge McBurney was not playing along. Because Judge McBurney was like, I said you could ask the questions. I did not say that I was going to answer your questions. Anyways, let's get back because I'm getting a little too excited. But yeah, he was Mr. Pierce. He was a lot. And then he kept talking about jurisdiction and something about, yeah, you cannot proceed. You keep wanting to proceed, but you have not established jurisdiction. And uh, he was a little contradictory though, because he said what? He said he said some contradictory stuff. He said, I know he was talking about jurisdiction. Right. He said that he is the one that had to prove jurisdiction. And I'm like, Mr. Pierce, why, if you are the one that's challenging jurisdiction, why do you have to prove jurisdiction? Those two things are, they don't quite make sense because those are divergent or opposite positions. Anyway, so he kept telling the court that the burden was upon him to prove jurisdiction, and the court does have jurisdiction unless the accusations are in a different county or something along those lines. Anyways, let's move on. All right. So, do you have any strong personal beliefs? I think I already read that. Have you ever been involved in a group, community, or individual activities showing support for law enforcement in or outside your own community? Have you ever been involved in a group, community, or individual activity that was critical of the police or law enforcement in or outside your own community? It sounds like Commonwealth questions here. They're trying to figure out, I guess it's really both because they have support and critical. They're trying to figure out, biases for or against law enforcement officers. And in this usually these questions are more so trained towards law enforcement testifying. In this case, you kind of have, not kind of, the victim is a law enforcement or was a law enforcement officer, and then obviously you have the folks that are investigating the case. Have you or someone close to you ever had education, training, or work experience in any of the following fields: law enforcement, military, alcohol, drug abuse, domestic violence? All right. And then let's see. Hold on, I'm getting distracted. Okay. All right, I'm getting I got a message from Callie. I had to see what it was just in case I'm out here exposing everything. Okay. Anyways, do you have any strong personal beliefs, or have you been exposed to any strong personal beliefs from friends and relatives about operating a motor vehicle under the influence of alcohol? That's an interesting one. What's up, Benji? How you doing? Hey, Fever, what's going on? Fever, there's no real update. Karen Reed jury selection is underway. They're hoping to have 16 individuals. So far, they have 7. Jury selection is moving pretty quickly, but the numbers are interesting because from yesterday, from yesterday's jury pool of 100, I believe the number was 76. 76 individuals already heard about the case. And then from today, I could not find the slideshow, but from today, that number was much higher. I think it was 86 or definitely 80 something of individuals that heard about the case. And then the Lori, we have to cover. There's no way around that. So Lori, our girl's representing herself, and her jury is good to go. But that's a quick update. Right now, we're just going over the jury questionnaire, and then 2 nights ago, today's what? Thursday, No, Wednesday. So on Monday, the judge issued a ruling on, some of the motions that they had. Um, when was that? The prior week. So she pretty much ruled that, you know, the defense, they can have or point to two third party culprits, but she ruled against them as far as it relates to somebody by the name of Colin Albert. Okay. If you need more information, ask. I'm sure Brooklyn would have the answers, but I can answer that too. All right, so let's see. Okay, this question right here, very interesting because I'm trying to figure out how to answer. For me, I'm probably gonna go with yes. I wanted to say no because actually I hate Dewey cases. That's the one thing as a prosecutor, as a public defender, I hate Dewey cases. I hate a DWI, I hate DUI. And by hate, I don't mean that I had, some form of bias against the defendant. I just hated doing them. Uh, and not sorry, but some of the field tests, according to me, junk science. Okay, some of it is junk science, but I really hate it. Give me something. Give me a robbery. Give me an assault. Give me anything and everything, but a DWI. That's how some people, most criminal defense attorneys, and I'm talking about boutique law firms, these tiny law firms, they actually some people make a practice out of DWI because a lot of people apparently drive around drunk. But I hate, I hate DWI cases. I hate it. I just, not my thing. Not my thing. I just find it incredibly boring. It's incredibly boring. And then, I mean, I know I did work on a bunch of Dewey cases. I had a lot of those Dewey cases. Uh and I mean, if I have to go to trial, I'm going to trial. But I just did not, it's not something I enjoyed. I did not enjoy Dewey cases. Anyways, yeah, even that horizontal gaze nystagmus, I'm sorry, that is junk science, all right? Okay. Have you ever been involved in a group organization, participated? And that's not to undermine the danger that drunk drivers pose to people. Okay. There's Uber, there's other stuff. Take an Uber, do something else, or drink when you're home. So it's not to, undermine the dangers of folks driving drunk, but I just did not enjoy DV cases. You can even give me a theft, okay? Give me a shoplifting. To me, that's even more interesting than a DWI. I don't want to have to deal with BAC and all the other stuff. All right. So, have you ever been involved in a group organization, participated in a march, demonstration, campaign, or donated money on behalf of an organizational cause that was against driving under the influence of alcohol, such as SAD, Students Against Drunk Driving, or MAD, Mothers Against Drunk Driving? Okay, I mean, I do donate money, but not to this. Okay, has anyone close to you ever been involved in an incident involving drinking and driving? If so, would that experience prevent you from being a fair and impartial juror in this case? Have you or has anyone? These questions are definitely defense questions. Okay, these are questions they're hoping to have because that would give them a window into how this potential juror might, view Karen Reed. Because again, and it's not just Karen Reed, a whole bunch of them were driving drunk. Uh, okay. Fever said DV cases don't really watch. Give me a shoplifting. Like, there was a time though, I was in the middle of nowhere. That was probably the one time. Oh, I remember why there were so many Walmart cases and it was always self checkout. Here's one thing about me: there's no amount of money anybody can give me for me to go to self checkout. If I have to go to self checkout, I'm going to throw a tantrum. I'm going to throw a tantrum. I just avoid self checkout, and I thought it was just me. But during my time as it's not my last office, my second last public defender's office, two of my other colleagues did not do self checkout as well, because that's a setup. Okay, that is a setup. That's a setup. Um, I don't like self checkout. There's Five Below or whatever it was. I entered, and I don't really go to Five Below. This is back. It's like 2022, 2023, somewhere around there. My kid and I were out and about, and we went to Five Below. It was about the summer. I was just gonna, get her some chalk and a whole bunch of random things. When I went in there and all they had was self checkout, oh my goodness, I was throwing a goddamn tantrum, and I never went back out there. I never went back out there. There was another grocery store. That grocery store was last year, though. I think it was last year, and I don't even really go to that grocery store, but it was close to a TJ. I love TJ Maxx, but it was close to a TJ Maxx, and it was getting late, and I went in there, and all they had was self checkout. I actually walked out the store. I don't do self checkout, but okay. Let's see. Brooklyn sent you the McBurney link. Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. Let me move on. You guys know I ramble. I ramble. I really do ramble. You think I'm out here gossiping with my friends? Okay, so let's see. Has anyone close to you? Okay, I think I read that. Have you or has anyone close to you been involved in or witnessed a motor vehicle crash? That would for sure have an impact in this case. Okay. Is there anything about crash reconstruction testimony that makes it difficult for you to be a fair or impartial in this case? I don't know that maybe there's somebody out there that would be impartial to reconstruction or crash reconstruction testimony, but that's such a basic question. Okay. Have you or any family member or close friend been involved in a domestic violence relationship that featured physical, mental, and or verbal abuse? Have you ever been a victim of a violent crime? During trial, you'll hear testimony about medical treatment, death, and review graphic or autopsy photographs. Will that affect your ability to participate and be a fair and impartial juror? I have a weak stomach, so, and I mean, as much as I've had a weak stomach, I've seen some pretty uh, disturbing stuff. Do you believe Karen Reed should have to prove her innocence? They're just, mm, I don't know. They literally just asked the question. All right. If the defendant doesn't, this is the question I was hoping for. If the defendant doesn't testify, do you think she's probably guilty or hiding something? Some people might say that. Do you know or recognize anyone you've seen today in the courthouse or in the jury pool? Would your answer to any of the above questions be embarrassing or damaging if disclosed publicly, or would disclosure infringe on your privacy? I don't know. I suppose, but I think they went to sidebar for most of these individual. I think everybody, in all honesty. Do you have any concerns about your personal privacy due to the presence of video cameras in the courtroom and or the highly publicized nature of the case? All right. Do you have any knowledge of this case gained from any source? What is your knowledge? Television, radio, newspaper, magazine, internet, Twitter, social media, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, other podcast, family, friends, observation in the community, overheard discussions, and then we have other. What are the details of the case that you're able to recall? Actually, I'd like to see what, the individuals that have indicated that they've heard about this case. I'm curious to find out what it is that they heard. Are you aware of any specific impact this criminal allegation has had on your community? I guess that's for the folks in Canton. What is your primary source of news and information? That is more of, right. This is a basic question because sometimes, again, depending on the type of case it is, an individual's main source of information sometimes it can, give a window as to what some of those views might be. Okay. For example, somebody like me that listens to Midas Touch, there's there's a certain what is this? I guess Brooklyn would call it the liberals. There's a certain probably connotation or understanding. Somebody that's listening to Fox News or somebody that relies on Fox News for their news or their primary news outlet. Um, Let me think of other examples. Yeah, I mainly listen to Midas Touch. Let's see, as well as Mega. And I mean, I get some of my news from Tasha K too, so you can tell that I like to gossip a little bit. But okay, so how often do you read print or online newspapers, magazines, blogs, and what sources? How often are you exposed to the news from radio, television, podcasts, or social media? And what sources? How familiar are you with a case prior to today? Have you had discussions about this case prior to today? Is there any reason you'd be unable to follow an instruction that during a jury service you may not read any news or media accounts about this case, watch or listen to any media or news broadcast or commentary about this case, discuss this case with anyone, research or look this case up on the internet, or perform independent research? I'd not have a problem with this because I'm not on social media like that, with the exception of YouTube and Reddit. Is there any reason you would be unable to follow an instruction that during a jury service you may not read or review any social media articles, posts, videos, podcasts, or other non-traditional media platforms that may discuss the case? I guess they cannot tune into Turtle Boy. And am I tripping? I think Turtle Boy is on Karen Reed's witness list. I think so. Am I tripping? I hope not. I think that's actually the case. Okay, is there any reason that if you are inadvertently exposed to extrajudicial influence on media about this case, you'd be unable to follow an instruction that you must report an exposure to a court officer? Is that, I guess that's the end of that. So I don't know. The what is this? The jury questionnaire, I don't know, it feels like it's lacking a little bit. Uh Dang, Brooklyn would answer yes to all of them. That's crazy. Fever says this is the question they're asking. Right. This is what the jurors had to fill out. This is what they filled out. Fever says, "Law, I understand because they do ask you questions like that to be a juror." Uh yeah, but some of these questions though, I don't know. I just expected, unless there was a limit as to, you know, the number of questions they were going to ask. I expected to see more questions about. I expected to see questions that were more focused on the what is this on the case, or at least the facts of the case. So that's a little disappointing, but all right, let us move on. Okay, so Brooklyn says he is on the witness list just so he can, so he cannot attend the court proceedings. So why would Karen Reed want to bar what's his name again, Turtle Boy, from being in the courtroom? Because let me get back, because I believe that it's okay. Let me share my screen and then I'm gonna look for that filing on my own. Hold on. I'm gonna put Big Lori on here. Okay, stop sharing. One moment. All right, we did not finish up Lori yesterday, so 2151. Uh-uh. All right, let me try and find that witness list.
So your prior attorneys had, actually, let me back up. The state filed a motion back in, I think it was September of 2024, asking the court to preclude your defense team at the time from making public records requests through Gilbert and/or Chandler police departments. I denied the state's request, saying that the defense is free to do their investigation and make public records requests through appropriate means. So that's part of your complaint, that they didn't provide those public.
All right, hold on. So I have the list here. What's his name again? Kearney somebody. Control find. Oh, command find. Kearney. Oh, so here's on the prosecutions, because I thought he was on the defense witness list. These are a lot of people. So let's see, who do they have here? Okay, so civilian witnesses. The Bryans, these are too many Bryans and too many Alberts. Julie, Nicole. Anyways, they have Turtle Boy. Turtle Boy, I suppose he's going to be testifying for the prosecution. Okay, Adrian Kearney, thank you. Okay, so Brennan did that.
Documents to the defense.
Let me find the I have too many. This weekend, I'm going to have to close some of these tabs down. Let me find the numbers. Oh, here we go. All right. So for Karen Reed, and I knew that number was high. Okay. For Karen Reed, the folks that knew about the case, actually, let me just put this on here. I'm going to have to open a new tab. Oh, no, we don't have time for that, baby. We don't have time for that. Hold on. Let me just get those rounded numbers for you. What did I just do? And do we know if Victoria George is being paid? Like, how much are they paying her? Because it's still, oh, there we go. There we go. Hold on. Okay, so today's jury pool, 89% knew about the case. 89, that's a high number. It's almost 90%. 89% knew about the case. And 44 had already formed an opinion. And apparently only 16 had a bias for or against Karen Reed. I still, that still doesn't make sense to me, because if 44% had formed an opinion, I don't see how apparently it's only 16 that have a bias for or against Karen Reed. That number, that math is it's not adding up. It's not adding up. So let's see. That just, it doesn't make sense to me. Did Turtle Boy actually talk about jury selection or no? Hold on. Let's see. What's his channel? I think it's called Turtle Boy. Does that sound right? Turtle Boy. No, last time he spoke about these people was, no, actually 20 hours ago he was live. Okay, maybe he's taking a break. Maybe he's taking a break today. But let's quickly cover what's her name again? Lori, because I'm gonna have to go in a little bit, okay? Let's get into Lori.
That's sort of a civil issue, I guess, but let me hear your argument on that.
That isn't really the complaint itself.
That's your first paragraph.
I know, but the complaint is that
I'd like to take each allegation and deal with them one at a time.
I understand that. My complaint is the interference by the state, Ms. K in particular, in stopping that and interfering with us trying to investigate and do our own investigation. It is a violation.
I don't know how much Lori. Okay, I'm gonna give Lori a few more minutes. I want to talk about Eric Adams before I get off here.
Of the constitutional right and due process. And she did do it, and she did do it purposefully. And then after she did it, and we weren't allowed to have anything from either of the police departments. Then she filed her motion. And then later, the day that I was Rule 11, that is the day after when you said that you denied that
Lori, you
motion.
should have gone with an attorney. Like
I don't know
real
what
attorney.
she did or what she said to Chandler and Gilbert to stop them from giving us any information. But as soon as we put in a request, we were cut off. No information. You can't have anything. That's when I was trying to, the big video that we're trying to get in Gilbert, that's what I was trying to request. I tried to request that myself because I would have my investigator to go and explain what that was and why we didn't have it. And so we were precluded from doing all those things by the state. They should not be interfering with that. That's one of the reasons why everything has taken so long. We haven't been given things we've asked the state for. We haven't been given them. We tried to get them from Chandler and Gilbert. We can't get them from them. She's stopping us from getting from them. How are you supposed to put together a defense?
So when your prior defense counsel put in that request back in September, the state says that they obtained those information and gave it to your attorneys on October 1. So why are we waiting until March to address this if you had an issue with that?
No, Brooklyn, she does have, you know, quite a bit to lose. And the reason for that is because she's appealing her life sentences. So if she's appealing her life sentences, to me, it makes sense for her to have gone with a real attorney. And again, I've talked about the difference between factual truth and substantive truth. If there are any errors or if there are any procedural errors in this case, an actual attorney would be able to preserve the issues for her, and that could give her, you know, an appeal avenue. Not to say that if she's convicted, the verdict would be overturned, but she could have a second bite at the apple by, you know, having a retrial. She should have gone with an attorney.
I have had an issue with it the whole time.
But why didn't you file why didn't someone file a motion
Lord.
back in after, you know, December?
Because she's not an attorney. Even though she's out here pretending to be one.
November, January, February, saying they had an issue with this.
I did. These are in my motions to you for specific discovery.
Maybe she
I
has.
discussed this exact problem.
Okay.
Okay.
Maybe she did.
Well, now you're saying it arises to prosecutorial misconduct.
It is.
This is the first I've been made aware of that, as far as I know, that the police department never honored the public records request. If they don't honor a public records request, there's a process to go through regarding that.
Which is what?
I'm not going to give you legal advice.
Lori, hold on. Lori, why didn't you go with an attorney? What on earth, Lori?
As far as I know, that the police department never honored the public records request. If they don't honor a public records request, there's a process to go through regarding that.
Which is what?
Hold on.
I'm not going to give you legal advice.
Lori, and why didn't you talk to standby counsel? Or maybe, I don't know, maybe you didn't. I don't know, Lori.
All right. Your second allegation, the prosecutorial misconduct, we've already kind of dealt with, that she distributed the state distributed attorney-client privileged communication. We've discussed that. The next one is legal advice to defense witness Nate Eaton. We've somewhat discussed that, but I think their motion, the state says that they simply notified him that he would need to be served with a subpoena to have to appear in court. So how is that improper?
Who's breathing so hard? Oh, it's the judge.
It's taking her word for that. That's what happened. She's not under oath.
Lori, what are you saying, Lori?
Their motion, the state says that they simply notified him that he would need to be served with a subpoena to have to appear in court. So how is that improper?
It's it's taking her word for that that's what happened. She's not under oath saying that that's what happened. Nate
What?
Eaton's not here to testify that that's what happened. They're the only two parties that are there to say that that is what happened. So that is my problem with it. I would like for one of them to get on the stand and say exactly what happened in that conversation and that she wasn't giving him legal advice. How do we know that she wasn't? It's a
Lori. Oh my goodness.
very curious situation that he called her, and then he writes in his motion this statement that obviously comes from Ms. K. She seems to be a clear attempt by Ms. Daybell to use the rules of criminal procedure as a pretext simply to keep me out of the courtroom and interfere with my ability to report. We also don't know if he told her, don't come to the March 18th hearing because that's when they're going to serve you with your subpoena. So all these things come from there, and we don't know who's saying it, and you're just taking her word for it, like you took her word for, oh, there's only 6 emails and there's no other emails. You're just taking her word for
Lori. No, Lori's attacking the judge.
it as an officer of the court, and I think that she should have to be sworn in.
Well, you want me to just take your word for he must have gotten these things from Miss K, okay? Just because his motion says he thinks that you're noticing him as a witness to keep him out of the courtroom. I don't know why you take the jump to that is coming from Ms. K as opposed to his own volition. He also hired an attorney that said the same thing.
All right, come on, Judge.
Even if she had said you need to be served with a subpoena to have to show up in court, that is not an ethical violation.
Well, giving legal advice is an ethical violation. Is that correct?
What?
Stating what the law is not an ethical violation.
What on earth is Lori talking about? What? Lori. She said giving legal advice is an ethical obligation. What?
Well, giving legal advice is an ethical violation. Is that correct?
Stating what the law is not an ethical violation.
Bless this judge's heart.
If she said, I don't think you should show up at court, even if you're subpoenaed or something like that, that could be an ethical violation, but we don't have that.
How do we know we don't have that? That's my question. How do we know what went
Lori, do you have
on in that conversation if it wasn't recorded? Aren't witness
You can interview
interviews
him.
recorded?
You can interview Mr. Eaton. Your investigator can interview Mr. Eaton. So when and if you get that information from Mr. Eaton that something nefarious happened in that conversation, bring it up then. But you're jumping to conclusions. You have the right to interview any witness, okay?
Not a witness anymore because you just precluded him.
All right. You can interview him. You can have your investigator interview him.
So even though he's not a noticed witness now, we can still interview him and try to find this information because we can't get it now? Is that what you're saying?
Sure. Have your investigator call him. Ask him about the conversation. At this time, I'm going to, based on just the pleadings, I'm denying the motion to dismiss for prosecutorial misconduct.
Dang, Lori. Hold on. Lori.
Let me kind of explain
Who's
how the
this?
system worked first.
Who's this person? I know I'm the one that clicked on the video. I clicked on the video and then I'm asking who that person is. Anyways, let me give a recap of my girl, Lori, okay? So let's see what they're saying here. This is from the Independent, okay? So what they're saying is that they have, where's the number? I really need to invest in another pair of glasses. Let's see. Okay, so apparently this is the headline. Convicted child killer Lori Vallow Daybell tells jurors their job is to protect her, okay, at the new murder conspiracy trial. So I guess that's her opening. Anyway, so it's a jury of 16 people that have been selected to, decide the fate of Lori. And it is 13 men and 3 women. I do not know I don't know what to make of that makeup. 13 men and 3 women. I don't know that it tells me anything. Yeah, I don't know that it tells me anything. Because sometimes the reason why I'm trying to figure out if it tells me anything or not is because the victim or the alleged victim, we're going to say alleged victim because that's the proper term, but the alleged victim in this case is male. So let me give you a better example, okay? If there's a trial where there's if it's an R, for example, if it's an R, okay, or like a sexual assault or crimes within that umbrella, okay, crimes against a person. Under those circumstances, typically what a prosecutor would want, they would want more women on the jury, whereas a defendant would want more men on the jury. As far as this makeup of 13 men and 3 women in Lori's case, it really doesn't tell me anything. Okay. So apparently, let's see. While questioning the potential jurors on Tuesday, Vallow told the jury that their role was to protect her from the state. All right. So she wants to be sheltered. So she said, "You're basically here to protect me from the state," Vallow said. "The prosecution is the state. The judge is the state. Law enforcement is the state. So it's all of them against me." Urgh. Uh, Lord, I mean, it could make a good. I guess this is probably going to be the tone of her. This is actually going to be crazier than I'd imagined. I guess this is going to this is forecasting her opening, where she is seeking protection from everybody else. I probably would have fashioned it along the lines of protecting her against or protecting her constitutional rights. That's how I would have phrased it, but okay. All right. And when Trina K of the Maricopa County Attorney's Office objected, so Judge Justin Bereski clarified that the jury's role was not to protect a defendant, but to determine whether the state had proven its case. Throughout the questioning, Vallow repeatedly asked if they would have trouble finding her innocent if she did not testify. All right. Would anybody have a problem with the fact that if I don't tell any of my side of the story, that doesn't sound right. If I don't tell any of my side of the story, she asked, if they didn't prove that I committed a crime at all, would anybody say, well, I can't find you innocent until you tell me what happened? None of the jurors said they would. Shout out to Lori, though. She's asking the right questions. Vallow also asked the pool of potential jurors whether they could be strong enough to stand up against the others. Okay, that is a fair question. And why that's a fair question is because oftentimes the foreperson is somebody with a very strong personality. It's usually the case, okay, because they want to lead, they don't want to be led. So I suppose this question is basically, who's this? Lori trying to figure out that if there was a lone wolf out there somewhere that was of the opinion that the prosecution did not prove its case beyond a reasonable doubt, or if this juror just really wanted to protect Lori from the state and everybody else, that they would not be intimidated if they were to stand by themselves. So shout out to Lori, though. That's a really good question. Okay. So she said, could you be strong enough if the other 11 people did not think that to stand your ground? She asked. That's hard. That would be hard for me. When the state posed their questions, Trina K asked the potential jurors if they would give Vallow more leeway because she was defending herself. That's a really good question. No one said they would. While the convicted killer usually wears a bright orange jail jumpsuit, handcuffs, blah, blah, she will be able to wear civilian clothes. That's actually very important. And will be restraint free. Come on now, Lori. Don't do anything in that courtroom, okay? All right. So she'll be, she's going to wear a stun belt. Apparently, if she tries to flee, she could get shot. So the judge, where exactly would she go? Like, where would she go? So this is the first of 2 trials Vallow faces in Arizona. She has pled not guilty to the charges, will face trial for conspiracy to commit murder in the death of Charles Vallow, as well as conspiracy to murder her niece's estranged husband. I still did not understand that one. The niece, I don't know, the ex-husband, or estranged husband rather. That one doesn't make sense to me, but okay. All right. So they'll be tried separately, and my girl Lori will be in court tomorrow. I cannot wait for opening though, unless it happened today and I missed it. Brooklyn says Fonnie Willis filed a motion to revoke. What? Really? Brooklyn, you know that I don't have Twitter. Okay, I don't have Twitter. I'm not gonna get Twitter. Send it to me. I'll review it right now. Actually, no, let's just go to Fulton County. Hold on. Let's go to Fulton County. It's still supposed to be on here. Let me see. Did I just click on spam? No. No. This is not. Let's see. Fulton County. Let me see if I can find it. What time is it? I still have a little time. Like, I'm usually tired. I'm usually tired when I come up here until I start gossiping, and then I have a new sense of, what is this? I have a little pep in me. Okay. Let's see. Fulton County. This is so weird. Why do they have an emergency alert on here? I don't know why they have that up to there. But let's see if I can find that motion. I wonder what it's based on. Fonnie Willis. Revoke. Oh, and Abate or whatever his name is, he was promoted. That was revealed, I believe it was sometime last month while I was watching Judge McBurney's courtroom. So I guess he's been doing good work over there. Hold on. I'm trying to find. Okay. Well, this screen is too small for me. But we can get into that tomorrow. I'm just gonna, okay. So this is from, what is this? Fox 5 Atlanta. They're saying Young Thug could lose his probation deal. Okay, here's what they know. So apparently, what is this? The prosecutors alleged that Young Thug violated probation terms by amplifying social media posts targeting a key law enforcement witness, leading to threats against the witness and public officials. The state of Georgia has filed a motion to revoke Young Thug's probation, citing his actions as a threat to public safety and the integrity of the judicial system. I don't know, Brooklyn, do you follow this guy on social media or not? Prosecutors request immediate custody of Young Thug and reimbursement for additional security measures, emphasizing the need for swift action to prevent further intimidation and harassment. Who is the officer? Are they referring to Vivarito? I don't know why I think Vivarito, but anyways. So the rapper, whose real name is Jeffrey Lamar Williams, those are too many names, is accused of violating his deal to end his involvement in the YSL RICO trial after a now deleted post to one of his social media accounts. I don't know why people, like, why can't people just stay off social media? Why can't they stay off social media? Okay, this makes me wonder though. Do they have a screenshot of the deleted post, or what exactly? I'm going to have to find the actual motion. They have a backstory. I'm not going to go over the backstory. I guess I have to. Okay, so the backstory. Williams, who pleaded guilty on October 30, 2024, was sentenced to probation with conditions including no contact with victims or their families. Prosecutors now allege that he violated those terms by amplifying social media posts that we just read that. Okay, what we know, prosecutors have filed a motion to revoke the probation of Williams. I hope they're not going to repeat themselves, alleging his social media activity endangered witnesses and public officials and posed a threat to the integrity of the judicial system. What they're saying in a filing submitted Wednesday in Fulton County Superior Court. That's actually where we're going. Hold on. Fulton County Superior Court. Control. Oh, while I'm here, actually, hold on. I have something else here. So Jeffrey Williams. I could put in Lamar, but that's just going to make it too long. Let's see. No, that's 2015. There are too many Jeffrey Williamses. 2019. Let's add Lamar. Jeffrey Lamar. Ooh. No bueno. Dang, how many people name their kids Jeffrey Williams? Yeah, those are too many. Those are too many Jeffreys. I don't have time to find all of that. But let's go to the courthouse, though. Fulton County Superior Court website. I was already here. Okay, this is gonna take me a while because my behind. I really need to go. I need to go to sleep. Hold on. Let's go back here. The state of Georgia requested that Judge Page Whitaker immediately remand Williams into custody, arguing his continued freedom under probation presents a clear and present danger to public safety and undermines the rule of law. The motion outlines, here's the motion. My behind just had to get to the bottom. Yeah, here. Oh, they have Big Sylvia up here. Big Sylvia, is today 4-1? No, today's 4-2. I don't know. Hold on. I don't want to download anything because for all I know, you guys, I have to increase the view. I have the motion here though. I have the motion. Oh my goodness. Brooklyn, now you're definitely gonna make me late. I need to go to bed. I need to go to bed. Let's enlarge this. 2-page view. No. Is that a 2-page view? Anyway, so the state's motion, I'm just quickly going to go down. Background. Okay, escalating facts. Okay, so they're talking about Vivarito. So they're saying that investigator Marissa Vivarito is currently testifying in a multi-defendant gang murder preliminary hearing, which remains ongoing and is set to reconvene on Monday, April 7, 2025. During this hearing, the court explicitly ordered that the witness not be shown on television while testifying. Despite this order, a known blogger, deliberately violated the court's directive by posting on social media she doesn't want to be shown on screen. Well, here she is, along with a photograph of investigator Vivarito. What on earth is going on in Fulton County? The mess just does not stop. It just does not stop. Okay, anyway, so it goes on. Georgia courts, need for revocation. So the integrity of this court and the safety of those involved in this prosecution are at stake. The defendant's probation should be immediately revoked. I would have said should be revoked immediately, but okay. To prevent further harm. I did not read anything that, I did not read anything that signals harm here, unless I did not read every paragraph though. So let's see. Let's look at these. Hold on. So let's do this. Tomorrow, let's talk. I just want to take a closer look. Dang. Apparently, Young Thug or whatever posted it's really Sylvia's doings. It sounds like allegedly, okay? But the picture here or the screenshot says biggest liar in the DA's office, and they have Big Viv out there. Why would he do that? Now, why would he do that? I don't know why people cannot stay off social media. I don't know. I need to find out what Sylvia is saying. Hold on. Benji said it's an ugly name. Okay, so Brooklyn sent me the link. I was not looking at my screen, but I did find that. Hold on. I just quickly want to look at Infamous. Let's see what's going on there. Oh, she's live. I think. Is she live? I don't even know what this is. Like, who are these people? I have no idea who these people are. But that's what I get for being so nosy. Wait, hold on. I thought I saw something about Vivarito. Okay. I don't know. Let me not get myself involved in things in Georgia because I don't want problems. I do not want problems. But let me quickly take a look at my email. Let's go to Gmail. Now I'm just really getting nosy. Like my behind. I need to iron. I need to do something. Okay, so these are from, I think this is X, Twitter, whatever it is. Yeah, no, I found the actual motion. Okay, I have the actual motion. We'll get into that tomorrow though, because yeah, I need to call it a night. I need to iron and I have to be up. I still have emails coming in. That's crazy. All right, folks, let's call it a night. Tomorrow I did not get to talk about Eric Adams. Do we have time to talk about Eric Adams? I did not get to talk about Eric Adams. All right, let's talk about Eric Adams tomorrow. Let me make a note for myself. Yeah, but Eric and okay, let's talk about Eric Adams tomorrow because once I start rambling, you guys know I'm not gonna stop. You got no. Let's save it for tomorrow. We're gonna save it for tomorrow. All right, folks. I'm calling it a night. I'm gonna start a I wanna get back on my Judge Judy content on here. So I'm probably gonna create a separate channel where I talk about criminal cases because I need to get my Judge Judy viewers back up because I'm disappointing them. Because I just come up here talking about criminal cases. Okay, good night, Benji. Thanks for tuning in. Brooklyn Fever. I hope you guys have a fantastic. Oh, Callie was up here too. And shout out to my girl Callie. Hope you guys have a fantastic Thursday. I'm really excited tomorrow's Thursday because it's almost Friday, right? It's almost Friday. I should not have a lot of work to do this weekend, so I'm happy about that. And I can have a decent weekend. All right, folks. And Benji, if you are still at work, enjoy the rest of your shift, okay? I'll be back up here tomorrow, 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. All right. Good night, folks.